Hi everyone, a very good morning to one and all. I'm Dhruv Sharma. I lead the agriculture sector here at Invest India. Today I'll be glancing you through the India Northern Ireland Business Connect series. We'll be discussing about the Indian agriculture overview. So just an agriculture overview of India. India is the seventh largest country globally, but in terms of arable land, we have the largest land under agriculture, which is equivalent to 180 million hectares. Globally, we are the second largest producers of fruits and vegetables. We have the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. Currently, the sector employs close to 55% of the population. The sector's contribution to gross value addition is close to 18.3%, and the export of agriculture products from India currently ranges at 53 billion for the year to financial year 22-23. Further, in 2022, the market size of Indian agriculture was being estimated at 436 billion USDs, and the sector is envisaged to grow at a CAGR of close to 5% to reach 581 billion in 2028. The production and exports of major agriculture commodities being produced here in India is pulses, wheat, rice, vegetables, and fruits. So we are the second largest producers of fruits and vegetables and other agriculture commodities. But in case we talk about the export percentages of the commodity that we produce is very low. There is a lot of investment opportunity coming into the place, and further we are anticipating some huge improvement in these numbers. So we are currently able to export 1.1% of the pulses being grown in the country, close to 1.2% of wheat, approximately 16% of the rice being grown into the country, 6% of the vegetables, and 1.5% of fruits that is being grown domestically. If we talk about the FDI trends out here into the agriculture sector in India, since 1819, jumping down to financial year 22-23, the FDI inflow has seen a burgeoning growth of CAGR 66%. This is a result of some very lenient measures that the government has taken in terms of 100% FDIs permitted through automatic route within the country. As a result, the agri-tech startups have raised close to 790 million in the last 4 years, and that is how the agriculture sector works in India. Some of the key subsectors in the Indian agriculture that we believe are set to for a we can say very fast growth, and a lot of investments can be attracted into these sectors. Subsectors are horticulture, agriculture machinery, agrochemicals, and agri-technologies. Okay, so talking about the first subsector is the horticulture, where the subsectors share into the agriculture sector is close to 33% in the financial year 22. Furthermore, what we have witnessed is in the last 2 decades, the subsector has actually grown at a CAGR of close to 4%. And currently, the production of fruits and vegetables in India, for the first estimates that were being launched in 23-24 were fruits at 112 million tons, followed by vegetables at close to 210 million tons. The area under horticulture has increased from close to 8.44 million hectares in 2004-5 to 28.34 million hectares in 23-24, 22-23. Further, if you talk about the value of exports for horticulture crops from India for the financial year 22-23, the export of fruits valued at 770 million USDs, and the vegetable valued at close to 865 million USDs, with port destinations for these commodities being UAE, Bangladesh, Nepal, Malaysia, Netherlands, UK. and a couple of more. So, what are the key drivers which are growing the growth into the horticulture subsector are growing number of small and marginal farmers. The reason being that the average land holding in India is decreasing. Today, 86% of the Indian farmers are small and marginal, and they hold close to 92% of the total land holding. So to ensure that the income that they have from horticulture crops, so the income that they have throughout the year is sufficient for their survival, they are actually shifting from regular crops like wheat, paddy, some staple crops to horticulture crops. Second is the, like I've just told you, better income for small farmers. And third is the policy support that the government offers. And there is a policy support that the government offers. So there is a specific, what do I call it, is a scheme for, we can say MIDH or National Horticulture Board, where a lot of schemes have been showed down to for this purpose. Some of the investable opportunities in this sector are, I believe, agri inputs, if we talk about, so some planting material or production, crop-specific fertilizers and crop protection, etc. Second could be infrastructure development, including, I'll say, cold chain, processing facilities for horticulture crops, R&D, and for packaging and processing material, at farm gate preservation systems. And third could be processing of fruits and vegetable with export orientation. So the reason for this being that India's share in the global trade of processed fruits and vegetable is less than 2%, which actually gives a lot of traction for these technologies to come into the country. So India is currently the largest tractor industry globally. We are manufacturing close to 1 million units per annum in terms of tractors. And if we talk about some smaller machineries like power tillers or something, we are manufacturing close to 50,000 units per annum. Uh, and India's export of tractors during the financial year 22-23, April to October, valued at somewhat around 857 million, and with our export destinations being United States, Netherlands, South Africa, Brazil, and Bangladesh, where the share of United States was close to 627 million. So, what are the key drivers for the growth of the agricultural machinery sector? The level of penetration of the farm mechanization here in India is somewhat around 40 to 45%, where now we can say that around 55 to 60% of the market is untapped. So, a lot of growth potential for this. The Indian financial ecosystem is growing at a rapid pace. So, we have last mile delivery of financial products into the rural areas, which allows these farmers to raise finance and own these agriculture equipments. Third is the government support in terms of some lucrative policies that the government has in terms of subsidies for the farmers to buy these agriculture machineries. Some of the investment opportunities, if we can talk about into the agriculture machinery sector, could be precision farming technology like robotics, autonomous vehicles, variable rate application, etc. We can even think of investments into drone technologies because there is a rising demand of drones for activities like crop mapping, crop monitoring, spraying, etc. Third is, like I told you, like 86% of the Indian farmers are small and marginal farmers. And there's a lot of traction that can be dropped into manufacturing of small sized agricultural machinery here in India. Third subsector that has a lot of traction here for India is the agrochemical subsector. India ranks fourth globally in agrochemical production, and we are manufacturing 50% of technical grade pesticides and exporting nearly 50% of the agrochemicals worldwide. 17-18 to 21-22, the sector has seen a growth of 9% CAGR, and there's a lot of traction into the sector because our consumption, India's consumption in terms of agrochemical is way low compared to global averages. India's consumption is currently at 0.6 kgs per hectare against I'll say China is at 13 kgs per hectare and UK is somewhat around 5 to 7 kgs per hectare. So there's a lot of domestic demand that we can think of the country bringing in for agrochemical subsector. The third is that India is the second largest exporter globally for agrochemicals, and the key destinations for the country remain Latin America, North America, Europe, and Asia. The key drivers for this subsector are production of off-patent molecules, decrease in arable land, which leads to food security issues that every farmer has to grow more from limited land holding, and growing awareness amongst the farmers for accepting agrochemicals as one of the solutions for enhancing their yields. Some investment opportunities could be specialty fertilizers, biologicals, and herbicides. Third is the agri-tech sector. So like we discussed that India has the third largest agriculture agri-tech ecosystem globally. And if you see that the sector has the number of startups being registered under DPIIT has grown at a proliferating number and reaching a CAGR growth of more than 160%. Around 12,000 startups, agri-tech startups have been registered here in India. The agri-tech startup have raised close to 1 billion of funding between 2014 and 21. And India has the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. And one of the key drivers for the agri-tech startups here could be like increasing farmer awareness, growing internet penetration, and a lot of government initiatives. Some of the investable opportunities that we see for agri-techs here are software as a service, farming as a service, and quality testings. India and the UK have been some of the best of the trade partners in the past. So if we talk about so like UK's contribution from agriculture to the GDP is close to 0.5%. On the contemporary for India, it is 18.3%. We have a lot of highlights going on like India UK FTA currently under discussion, and 13th round of negotiations have been successfully concluded. Some of the major commodities that India exports to UK are fish, edible fruits and nuts, coffee, tea, spices, cereals, etc. And a lot of imports to India from UK include beverages, spirits, vinegar, etc. Key opportunities that India and UK can think of in terms of agriculture, into investment into agriculture are precision agriculture. We can think of investment into vertical farming because a lot of UK-based companies are promoting vertical farming. That is a need of the hour for food and nutritional security. Agricultural biotechnology, which can help India address soil-related issues and maximize and minimize the impact on the environment. Technology transfer for clean agri-tech for decarbonizing Indian agriculture sector and help food supply chain become more sustainable. Farm equipment or agri-engineering manufacturers, like India has the largest arable land globally, and we are more than happy to bring in new technologies which can help us improve our yields and do agriculture at another level. So why India? So we have the largest population on the globe. 39% of our population are adolescents. We have seen an FDI inflow of close to 85 billion USD in financial year 22. We have access to free trade agreements with the 13 countries as on. Our ease of doing business ranking has jumped 79 positions from 142 in 2014 to 63 in 2022. India has a large pool of skilled and talented individuals, including the third largest group of scientists and technicians globally. Startup ecosystem, third largest startup ecosystem globally, and that we have seen witnessed the growth of year-on-year growth of 12 to 15%, and a lot of government initiatives that promote FDI through you can say initiatives like including relaxation of regulation, tax breaks, etc. So any organization who is planning to jump down into India for their investment, or you can say plans, happy to connect with them. Invest India is an national investment promotion agency to the government of India, and we act as a bridge between the industry and the government. We help them with business advisory, strategy and implementation, aftercare services, and long-term partnerships. For all the companies planning to come down to India, happy to help you. Thank you and namaste.